She was just a poor girl, struggling to care for her disabled kid brother. But everything changed the day she helped an old woman carry her things. She didn't know that small help would open a new door in her life. She got a job, but the house was full of secrets, and one of those secrets was love. How did her kindness bring such a big change? And who really was the old woman she helped that day? Sit back and find out, as we enter this powerful story. This is the story of a poor girl named Emily, who helped an old woman on the road without knowing her life was about to change forever. She had no idea that a small act of kindness would bring her the biggest blessing she had ever dreamed of. Emily sat under a big mango tree beside a dusty road. She held a small black nylon bag of food and cried softly. Her eyes were swollen. Her clothes were old and faded. She had not eaten since yesterday, but she was not thinking about herself. Her younger brother, Jordan, had not eaten either. Since the accident that took their parents' lives, Jordan could no longer walk well. He now used wooden crutches to move around. Emily looked at the sky, tired and weak. The food she carried was all she could afford. She whispered, "God, please. Jordan is suffering. I don't know what else to do." As Emily wiped her tears, someone stopped in front of her. "My daughter," a weak voice said. "Please help me. I haven't eaten since yesterday." Emily looked up quickly. It was an old woman. Her face looked tired. Her wrapper had small tears. She had no bag, no food, only a worn-out slipper on her feet and sadness in her eyes. She pointed to the nylon bag in Emily's hand. "Can you help me with your food, please?" she asked gently. Emily held the food close to her chest. "I'm sorry," she said. "It's for my brother. He hasn't eaten and he's sick." Emily held the food tighter as she looked at the old woman. "I would love to help you," she said, her voice shaking. "But this is the only food for me and my brother." She wiped her face quickly. "He's very hungry. He didn't eat yesterday and he can't walk well." The old woman looked down. She didn't say anything. Slowly, she walked to a stone nearby and sat down. She placed one hand on her chest like someone in deep pain. "My daughter," she said softly. "Even one bite will save me." Emily looked at her again. The old woman's feet were dry and dusty. Her wrapper was torn at the edge. Her hands were shaking and she looked like someone who had walked a long way. Emily felt her throat dry up. She looked down at the food in her hand. Then she looked at the woman. Something inside her felt heavy. Emily closed her eyes. Her heart beat fast. She opened her eyes and looked at the woman again. The woman's lips were dry. Her hands were still shaking. She sat quietly, waiting, but not begging anymore. Emily slowly knelt down beside her. She untied the nylon bag and the small white plate inside was still warm. She gave it to her. "Take it," Emily said in a quiet voice. The woman looked at her with surprise. Her eyes filled with tears. "God bless you, child," she whispered. There was silence. But in Emily's heart, something felt strange. She didn't know this was the moment her life was about to change forever. When Emily got home, she pushed the wooden door open and walked inside their small room. Jordan sat by the window, staring at the sky. The moment he saw her, his eyes lit up. "Emily," he called out. "Did you bring the food?" Emily stood by the door. She nodded slowly. "I did, but I gave it to an old woman. She was hungry too." Jordan's face fell. "But I'm so hungry, Emily," he said with a weak voice. Emily walked to him quickly and sat beside him. She hugged him tightly. "I know, Jordan. I know." Her eyes were wet. "I didn't want to," she said quietly. "But when I saw her sitting there, weak and tired, my heart couldn't leave her." Jordan leaned on her shoulder. There was silence between them for a while. Then Jordan looked up at her. "Will we ever be okay, Emily?" Emily didn't answer. She only held him tighter. Later parts continue with Emily and Jordan, Mama D as Deborah, and Mr. Sampson. Names and locations changed, but the rest intact.